Alright, so today we have a pretty recent product. This is the Apple Watch SE first generation. It came out way back in 2020, and we're going to see if this watch is still worth buying today because you can actually pick one of these up for less than $100. So let's go ahead and get right into this video and see what this watch has to offer. Now, for the record, there are two versions of the SE first generation and the second generation. This video will specifically focus on the first gen, the one that released back in September 2020. It came in 3 different colors and 2 sizes, the 40mm and the 44mm, and I actually have the 44 right over here in this beautiful space gray color, and I ended up buying it from Apple's refurbished website 2 years ago. I paid around $200 with a very generous 15% Apple employee discount, but you can definitely pick one of these up for much cheaper today, especially on the used market like eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and all those awesome places. Now, a quick search on eBay and you'll see a lot of them ranging anywhere between $75 to $100, sometimes even cheaper, depending on whether you buy it without a band or if you buy it individually. And of course, a quick overview. I mean, over the last 2 years of ownership, it's definitely held up very well. I've definitely dinged my watch a few times, and it does show that, especially with its age, but I think it looks really great, especially with this band that I have right over here. This is not an authentic Apple band. This is a knockoff Milanese loop band, which I got from Five Below, but honestly, it still looks pretty good. Now let's talk a bit more about the hardware features of this watch. First things first, I think it's very easy to tell when you're using an SE compared to one of the newer Apple watches, just because the bezels on this watch are pretty big. It's noticeable for sure, but it is something you'll probably end up getting used to pretty quickly. Now, I personally find it a bit confusing as to how this watch is different from other Apple watches, but let me break down for you guys so it's a little easier to understand. So the exterior of this watch is actually based on the Apple Watch Series 4. This watch came out way back in 2018. The display, however, is pretty much the same as the Series 5, but it is missing a key feature known as the always on display. This is actually exclusive to some of the more premium Apple watches that we have. And of course, with this being an affordable Apple Watch, the SE, it's not one of the features that are included on this device. So keep that in mind if you are planning to pick up a used Apple Watch, or even a brand new one for that matter. This watch here will not have an always on display. Now, inside the watch, it has the S5 processor, which is based on the Apple Watch Series 5. This came out in 2019. There's also no U1 chip inside. This chip basically allows you to locate your Apple products if you lose them using your Find My app. However, we do have this beautiful Retina LTPO OLED display, which honestly does look really great. It's bright and is, in my opinion, more than enough. Now, in terms of software, this watch has officially reached the end of software support. So Apple will no longer provide any major software updates to the Apple Watch SE first generation. So this watch pretty much stops at watchOS 10.6.1, but of course it will probably receive security updates over the next few years. Now, how does this affect you? You know, certain apps may no longer work or be supported. Some apps will require you to be on the latest watchOS. I know for me in particular, I wasn't able to get the Tesla app onto my Apple Watch because it requires watchOS 11, which this Apple Watch does not support. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, Apple may continue to push out more updates over time, but they will strictly be security updates, something like 10.6.2 or 10.6.3, but the bottom line is watchOS 11 will not be coming to this device. But the good news is that you can still pair any iPhone running the latest iOS. I have my iPhone 14 Pro here, which is always great to see. Now, speaking of iOS, I want to take a quick second to talk about today's video sponsor. Xcool was kind enough to send over their InkPlay photo phone case, and it's actually pretty cool. They have a huge variety of different products ranging from electronics to lifestyle, but today I want to focus specifically on this iPhone case right over here. And as you guys can see, it is highly customizable. You can upload any image to the display on the back of this case using e-ink technology. It's completely wireless with no Bluetooth or MagSafe needed. Instead, it actually uses NFC, near field communication, which only draws a tiny bit of power when you're actually changing images. Now, I got creative with this. I made a to-do list on Notion, took a screenshot of it and uploaded it. This case works best with images that use black, white, or red colors, and while it does disable MagSafe functionality, you can still use the wireless charger without MagSafe or a traditional charging cable as well, which is always nice to see. Now, to change the photo, you will need to download the Clever Play app. You simply select the image that you want. I use a photo of my girlfriend's dog. You follow the on-screen instructions, and yeah, within 15 seconds or so, your image will appear on the back of this phone case, which is actually really cool. But the best part is it's still an iPhone case at the end of the day, so it offers decent protection. It could be a little tighter along the edges, but overall, my phone case here has been pretty snug. Now it's still on sale right now. You can get it for like $14.99 on their website. I'll have the links down below, as well as a discount code iClassic for an additional 10% off. And thank you so much, Xcool, for sponsoring this portion of today's video. All right, now back to the Apple Watch. One of the features that I love about this device, and is one of the things that isn't really going to change with software updates, is health tracking. So this watch has built-in features to track, like optical heart rate monitoring, being able to tell what your resting heart rate is. And it's really useful for when you're working out, when you're going for a light jog outside. It's great to have that information, and it feeds into your iPhone as well. Now, there is no ECG on this device. So this is a premium feature that Apple does not offer with the first generation SE or the second generation. So you'll have to go with a higher end model to get that feature. Now, similarly, this watch also comes in one material, and that is aluminum. But if you want something more high end, like stainless steel or titanium, you do have other more high-end options like the Series 9 or the Series 10. And overall, I'd say you do get some pretty good health features on top of the features that already exist for a fairly decent price. And like I said, these are built into the watch itself, so these features will not be removed with software updates. I mean, unless Apple decides to turn them off one day, but I highly doubt that will happen. So yeah, you can definitely count on Apple to keep these features in this watch. So now I want to quickly talk about pricing, and I want to, just kind of dive into the different prices for this Apple Watch. We're looking at anywhere between $75 to $100 for this particular watch that we have here, the 44 millimeter. And since this is the first generation and not the second generation, it'll probably lose a bit of its value next year as we head into 2025. Yeah, it's kind of insane to think about. But anyways, the best places to find this device are going to be on eBay in most cases. I usually just type in something like Apple Watch SE first gen 44 millimeters. That's the size that I like. You can sort it by newly listed, and this way we can check and see the most recent watches that were listed. And if you find one, you can definitely jump on it a lot quicker. And keep in mind, some of these might have more wear and tear than others, and you don't have to necessarily purchase a band through Apple. You can get one from Amazon for under like 20 bucks usually. I mean, the one that I have here isn't even a real Milanese loop band. This is from Five Below. I'm pretty sure this is like $5. So I mean, whatever band suits your style, there's definitely a lot more cheaper options than going the retail route if you go directly through Apple. Now, I did want to do a quick comparison between this watch and the SE second generation. So let's say you are considering the SE for its affordable price and features, but now you gotta ask yourself, do I want the first gen or the second gen? I mean, they look exactly the same, but there are some major key differences. Both of these are going to come in at similar price points. The SE2 might cost a little over $100 depending on the condition and the size of the watch that you get. Now, the major difference between the SE1 and SE2 is that the SE2 has a slightly better chip, the S8 processor, which is based on the Apple Watch Series 8. Otherwise, the features are pretty much identical. Now, you'll also find that a lot of sellers online will not list what generation the Apple Watch is, but there is a really easy way to tell the difference between the SE1 and the SE2. Now, the SE1 will have a glossy back and a glossy center, as you guys can see here. This one is directly from an eBay listing. It's entirely gloss, basically. But the SE second generation will have a matte finished back, but the center of it will be glossy. So that's kind of the major difference here if you want to compare and contrast, which SE generation you're looking at. And I mean, it really does come down to whichever one is the better deal. So that leads me to my next point. Which one should you end up buying? I mean, the bottom line is, if you can find an SE second generation for under $100 in a 44 millimeter, I'd say go for it. You're getting a much better processor. The S8 came out with the Series 8, which was released in 2022. So this watch is going to continue receiving watchOS updates from Apple. I mean, I've seen a few pop up on Facebook Marketplace. That place can be a little sketchy sometimes, so definitely be careful. But I will say the SE is an incredible watch and offers a lot of value. I don't think I could justify spending the full retail price on a brand new Apple Watch SE, just because at that point, you know, you could just spend a few extra dollars and get yourself a Series 8. I know Costco has a really great deal going on right now where you can get like $40 off. But if you're on a budget and you don't mind a secondhand watch, the SE first generation is an incredible deal, and it's not really a bad purchase at all. I mean, if it's 2024 or 2025, depending on when you guys watch this video. But anyways, I hope this helped you guys out a lot. I love this watch. I'm gonna continue to use it as my daily Apple Watch. Like, this isn't just a watch I got for this video. I actually daily this thing pretty much every day. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I did wanna let you guys know this is the last video of 2024. So I'm really, you know, happy that I was able to upload so many videos this year, and I just want to thank you guys so much for all your guys' support this entire year. I don't know exactly how many videos we got uploaded, but your guys' support helps so much and makes videos like these possible. So shout out to you guys, and I'm excited to show you guys what kind of videos I have in store for next year. We're going to be slightly changing up the upload schedule a little bit. I'm going to try to upload 3 videos a month and 1 short on YouTube. So I know a lot of people want to see those, just because a lot of my subscribers I've gotten have actually come from shorts. So yeah, we're gonna try to change it up a little bit. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the holidays. You know, Merry Christmas if you guys celebrate it, and Happy New Year. I will catch you guys next year. Peace.